Hello everyone, my name is Mark Cramer and I'm professor of clarinet at Tennessee Tech University, and this is the first of 3 video installments geared towards helping beginners get set up on the clarinet. So to get started, I thought I'd bring various different cases that are up on the market, and for demonstration purposes I have them on a table, but generally I think it's better to open the case on the floor just in case if a piece were to accidentally fall, that's less distance for that piece to fall and be less likely to break. But for this purpose of this, I'm just going to keep them on the table. In general, manufacturers are going to keep their brand label on the top of the case. This is a really standard and common zipper opening case. It opens like this. I've got the label on top and opens like so. Another really common type of case that you're going to see is one with latches like this. Now this is good. These can be a little bit more tricky to figure out how to open, especially this one. This one doesn't have any label on top of it, but in general, this kind of case is going to open with the latch going up like so, and opens like that. Another good point of reference is you'll see that the top of the case is usually smaller than the bottom. And then a little less common case is going to be this kind of latch opening where you'll have these 2 little points that open this way. This one is actually completely even on top and bottom, but generally this latch is on the bottom part of the clarinet and opens like so. And I got a blue one in here, not the purple one. So I thought next thing I'd talk about is the parts of the clarinets and how to assemble the instrument. So this is my Baccoon clarinet case, and you'll see the label is on top. It zips open. And generally, if your instrument is brand new, you're going to need to grease the corks that hold the instrument together. So I'm going to just do one to show you. And I'm going to take, this is the right hand joint. And what you do is you just take just a little bit of cork grease and just apply it directly to the cork of the instrument. You want to put that cap back on just so it doesn't dry out. And I just take my index finger and my thumb and just kind of evenly distribute all of the cork grease. And then I usually have to wipe my hands off on my pants or something. So I like to assemble the clarinet from the bottom up. So the first piece is the bell, and I grab that typically with my right hand, and with my left hand I try to depress as little of the keys as possible. So I think the easiest part is to take your left hand and depress these cups that hold the pads on the bottom like so. And then I just simply twist like that. Next is going to be the left hand joint. And this one's a little tricky because you have these keys here that are called the bridge keys. So what you want to do is you want to hold the clarinet from the bottom, actually with the right hand, and the top and the left hand, I like to hold the left hand joint and I engage this key. You might be able to see that moving on the video. So I keep that engaged, I keep the right hand joint disengaged, and very carefully assemble it like that. Sometimes you got to adjust a little bit more. You don't want your instrument to be too greased up because it is possible for the pieces to come apart if there's too much cork grease on there. The next piece is called the barrel, and actually really looks like a barrel. Different clarinets have different looks about them. This one actually doesn't have any metal rings on it. Most of your barrels are going to have metal rings on the top and the bottom, and that just goes on top like so. Then we have the mouthpiece. We put that on top. It's really important. The flat part with the window is actually going to face you. Next, we have reeds. I use synthetic reeds, but most of you are probably going to have cane reeds. So it might be a little harder to see it on the video, but this is your reed, and you're going to put that right on top of the mouthpiece. And I get the tip of the reed right in line with the tip of the mouthpiece. And I usually close one eye and look there, very even. And last but not least, the ligature. Ligatures come in different shapes and sizes. Some of them are string. This one's actually fabric. It's really durable. Another really common one is a metal ligature. And you're going to hold that reed on with your thumb and slowly slide the ligature on top of that. Make sure everything's even and symmetrical, and screw the ligature in. General rule of thumb, go to about where you feel resistance and then go another quarter turn, and that's about as tight as you need to be on with the ligature. So now the clarinet's together. Now I usually take the clarinet apart the opposite way that I put it together. So first I take that ligature, stow it away, take that reed. Very important thing is to have a reed case. These are D'Addario reed cases. They're pretty inexpensive, usually around $5 to $7 on Amazon. And I put that reed right in there. It's really important to have proper reed storage because especially your cane reeds are going to warp, and if you have a nice flat surface to hold them in, they're likely to maintain their original integrity. Next, I take off that mouthpiece. And this is where I get to talking about swabs. So this is just a silk swab. Some cases have cotton swabs or felt swabs. You never want to run the swab through the mouthpiece. And yes, while the mouthpiece gets really wet, it's actually designed for that. This one's made out of hard rubber. A lot of them are plastic. Some of them are made out of glass or other kind of synthetic material. And you never want to put the swab through your mouthpiece because it can, one, it can damage the tip, but two, over time, the inside of the mouthpiece is going to change and it won't play with the same sound and ease as when it was brand new. So never run your swab through that. So I just put that right back in the case. Then, the fun part, I flip the clarinet upside down and I run the swab. This swab has a nice little weight in it, and I run it right through the bottom, like so. And I'll try one more time just to make sure you get it all out, like so. Then next, I take the barrel. Usually you can hold the clarinet pretty much anywhere on the top. My clarinet doesn't have any like pattern to it, but a lot of your clarinets are going to have little grooves, which are actually meant for your fingers. So just kind of very lightly grab that barrel, put that away. Then again, make sure put down these pads on the bottom joint, open up the bridge key on the top joint. Very careful. And last but not least, I put my left hand on the right hand joint and pull it apart. Bing, bang, boom. And we are done for the day. So this is the conclusion of my first video. Stay tuned for more, and I hope you find these really helpful. Good luck and happy practicing.